going to lead into a forward fold from this, cross-legged forward fold. So I usually have them inhale, lift up, and then go ahead and exhale and forward fold on their own, so that they can lead their own hands out in front of themselves. If you lead the hands, they have to unusually use their core, not quite as comfortable. So from here, she's in a forward fold. We have our ABCBA pattern to use, so I'm going to stretch here, kind of from side to side, and then I'm going to break that ABCBA pattern down, meaning I'm going to have her sit up. I'm going to have her recross her legs, so opening up and bringing the right one in first, the left one. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. And from here, instead of a stretch, I'm going to palm press. Palm, palm, palm. They're relaxing. They love it. We massage their shoulders. We're going to back it out and down. All the way down to the hips if we like. So palm press. I'm going to have her inhale, sit up nice and tall. This is bound angle pose, so you need to take the soles of your feet together for me. And go ahead and lean forward. So having the energy lines in mind, we will be learning those momentarily, but they run right up the spine, right next to the spine on the erector spinae, and then like an hourglass. So with those in mind, we could very well be doing thumb presses on them, forearm rolls, whatever is comfortable here. I would actually say that a lot more of that addressing the individual energy lines might be more comfortable in a straight forward fold. This one here, depending, we want to take it slow and easy, the thighs, palm rolling the tissue back towards us, maybe gently walking a little bit from side to side will help the hips and the tissues open up more. But we want to be gentle with that because not everybody is ready to let those legs drop. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. Take your legs straight out in front of you. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold for me. So forward bend with straight legs. Again, so we could forearm roll or start coming into elbow presses in this. Okay, so inhale, sit up. Don't reach so much with your shoulders, reach with your chest forward, shoulders down. Better for the back. Sit up nice and tall, and then take your legs out as wide as possible. So in the book, there's assistance from this side that takes on holding arms, legs, and leaning person forward. My feet are not at her knees, but if she can't get very far, this might be a good place to be. Put your hands on the ground. If they're a little bit more flexible, we can hang out behind them and do the same thing that we did just a moment ago, rolling the thighs this way. Now depending, we don't want to put our chest on somebody as much as maybe our upper belly if it's comfortable, but I can use my upper belly to press forward as I roll the tissue of the thighs back. So there is that. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall, bring the soles of your feet together, or I'm sorry, just legs together straight out in front of you. We're going to be doing a motorcycle back stretch and fish pose, easy fish pose. The photos in the book can get a little confusing, but we are going to continue to do our best. So, but at least you have them, you have me, awesome. So, motorcycle back stretch, I am in position, knees bent, toes are at the bottom of the spine to support right now. In fact, go ahead and turn your feet towards that corner. And from here, so it should be a little bit better, yep. And from here, I'm going to have the client reach under towards me, hold on to my wrists, and then the motorcycle part comes where we rotate. So when the client reaches underneath, their shoulders are kind of pressed forward, but if I take their arm and rotate up, their shoulders open, but that doesn't mean that it's still like comfortable for us. So they have to maintain their grab as we kind of adjust our hold on the arms. And then from there we can put our feet up into the mid back and give a stretch. Now the shoulders need to stay above the hips, which means we're really just supporting the arms, and more of this is a press with the legs and the feet. So you have to make sure that you're scooting close enough with your hips, that your knees are bent, and that then you can start to straighten your legs. The second that the shoulders come behind the hips, the client has to engage the core and it becomes way less comfortable. So the more forward, the better. So while we're here, we stabilize with one foot, use the other foot to work down and up the spine to the shoulder blade, on top of the shoulder blade some, and if you can get your toes just under the edge of the shoulder blade, very cool. But do not go super far. Don't try to force anything. So, walking our feet back down, and place our hands on the ground, and we're going to stay at this angle right now for this supported fish pose. In the book, it looks a little awkward because the feet are low in the low back, and he just looks like he's leading her back. But what we're going to do to keep the client more safe and make this more of a yoga fish pose is we're going to back up about 12 inches so that when she lays down, her chest is going to be up and her thoracic is going to be on her feet, not the low back. Westerners have a hard time with the low back. So go ahead. My knees are a little bent. I've got her neck. Go ahead and lean back on your elbows back. All right. So this is more like a fish pose, but now that I have her head, she can let her elbows go and lean hard onto my feet. She can relax, and I'm kind of shaking her out. So my feet are straight up and my toes are straight back, and she's laying on the balls of my feet. They're very close to the middle of the spine. My big toes are right on the sides of the spine. Her chest is up. We can just hang out here, or with my hands underneath the base of the skull, I can spend time massaging here. So very good. All right, so a lot can happen here. And now in the book, it kind of shows to push them back up to sitting, but it's not the most comfortable for the abs. So if we can get good at bending our knees and dropping our toes, we can lay them flat on the ground, which is very nice. And then we come around, and then we have that cross-legged forward fold and pull up, bending your knees. Holding onto my wrists. Inhale, exhale. We can pull them up to seated. We're going to have them interlock their fingers behind their head. And this is where we're going to be taking her into a spinal twist. I'm going to show you a standing spinal twist, which comes on page 132. In our books, 131 shows a tie spinal twist, which is a little bit more difficult, not as comfortable. So, showing you this one here, I am standing to the left with my right leg at her spine. My foot is perpendicular to her sacrum. It's parallel to her sacrum, so it's facing this way. My leg is a support. I'm going to come forward, holding on to her shoulder blade side body, not the arm. If you hold on to just the arm, the tricep, it doesn't feel as good, not as solid. So if I grab the whole of the side body there, I can straighten my back, go ahead and lift and twist on my right leg. Using my left leg, I can push her into this twist. Okay, so I'm going to switch my stance, and you can twist to the side 2-3 times. You can hold it and breathe 2-3 times. So to see this from this side, standing here, my foot is on her spine, and I'm connected with her with that back leg. Coming across to the front, holding onto that body, lifting up on my left leg. She inhaled and exhaled with the twist. So we can hang out here, inhale, and exhale, twist. She's just twisting. All right, and bringing it back to the middle. So back lift comes next, palms together. I'm coming in with like a waddle foot, almost like Charlie Chaplin. My knees are going to stay together and my feet are wide. And with this, we are going to bend our knees and send them deep down into the client's back. We're not pushing them into their spine. We are pushing them into the back, but we come to find out with our practice it feels pretty good. If it doesn't, if we're too bony, they're too bony, you can put a blanket between you two and it should work out. Palms together, my hands around hers, After I sink in, I lift up and back. So I have to be grounded in order to be able to lift. Some people lift and they fly backwards, so don't do that. So we have to ground down and lift up, and that feels really good. So you can do it once, twice, 3 times. Bring those arms down to the side. Maybe we palm press the shoulders as we come down to our Thai chop. Palms together, flop, flop, flop. My arms are bent, and everything comes from the wrists. And we'll sweep it out.